Today in Perth, Western Australia, a mystery in Banksia Grove, a rooftop standoff, and a measles alert. Stay with us, it's all happening right here. I'm Dean Bark, and welcome to the City Report with Dean Bark, right here in Perth. Let's start with this. Mystery in Banksia Grove. Woman found dead, man questioned by police. On the morning of October 12th, police were called to a home on Myali Bend in Banksia Grove after a report of an unresponsive woman at 9 a.m. The woman, 42, was pronounced dead at the scene. A man in his 40s, known to her, is assisting detectives. No charges announced. The cause of death has not been released. Homicide detectives are exploring the possibility of murder. That's standard when circumstances aren't immediately clear. Investigations like this take time and a lot of resources. Police often start with people close to the victim to map relationships, verify timelines, and gather context. Neighbors in the area describe the woman as friendly. The shock on Myali Bend is real and visible today. The timeline so far: just after 9 a.m. on October 12th, emergency crews arrive. Shortly after, the scene is secured, statements begin, and forensic teams move in. If you saw or heard anything unusual around that time in Banksia Grove, what's the takeaway? Even small details matter. The quick response by authorities underscores something we sometimes forget until it's urgent. Community vigilance makes a difference. And now for something completely different: a public health alert. Moving on. Measles alert issued in Perth, multiple exposure sites identified. Health authorities have confirmed a case tied to an overseas traveler with exposures between March 5th and March 13th this year. Among the listed sites are St. John of God Midland Hospital in Midland and Kmart Ellenbrook Central, a retail store in the Ellenbrook shopping precinct. There are nearly a dozen locations under review from those dates. Measles is a highly infectious respiratory virus. Symptoms include a fever, cough, and a distinctive rash. Here's the kicker: the virus can linger in the air for up to 30 minutes after an infected person leaves a room. This is the 5th case in WA this year, after record infections in 2025. If you were at those sites on the listed dates, monitor for symptoms and check your vaccination status. Vaccination is the best prevention. Let's cut to the chase. Measles doesn't negotiate. For clarity, if you're unsure about your immunization, your GP, your general practitioner, can check your records and advise on next steps. The advice from health officials is straightforward. Watch for symptoms for up to 2 weeks after exposure and isolate if they appear. With measles being so contagious, vaccination should be a top priority for everyone. Looks like someone forgot the memo back in 2025. Let's not repeat it. Let's pivot to the next story. Man charged after a 5-hour rooftop standoff in Kwinana. Early hours of October 16th, around 3 a.m., a 35-year-old Parmelia man climbed onto the roof of a BP service station. He was armed with a multi-tool knife, which, yes, can be considered a weapon under certain circumstances. The Tactical Response Group, WA Police's specialist unit for high-risk incidents, responded alongside firefighters and other emergency services. Negotiations and containment took time. By about 8 a.m., the man was safely brought down without further incident. He's been charged with several offenses, including criminal damage and obstructing public officers. Motivation hasn't been disclosed. These operations draw significant resources: closures, diversions, and a dawn crowd to manage. It's astounding how much police time and specialist capability can be tied up by one individual's actions. Well, that's one way to miss the morning rush. The good news: no reported injuries, and the situation ended safely. Shifting gears, hit-and-run chaos as a driver smashes through walls in South Perth. Around 6:20 p.m. on October 16th, a Toyota Hilux plowed through 2 walls and a fence on Ridge Street. Witnesses reported screeching tires and a loud bang. The driver fled on foot, abandoning the vehicle at the scene. Police are investigating and have asked for public assistance through Crime Stoppers, the community tip line used to share information with authorities. If you were nearby, heard the impact, or have dashcam footage from the evening commute, that could help. Fleeing the scene only complicates matters and shows disregard for community safety. Leaving the ute behind isn't an escape plan, it's evidence. All right, next topic. A Qantas flight to Perth diverts back to Brisbane after an airspeed dial malfunction. On the late evening of October 16th, the aircraft returned to Brisbane shortly after takeoff. It then circled off the coast for nearly 3 hours to reduce fuel so it could land safely at 11:10 p.m. Qantas, Australia's national carrier, confirmed passengers were accommodated overnight and rebooked for the following morning. Aviation engineers, specialist safety inspectors will examine the plane. An airspeed dial issue is serious. Accurate speed readings are essential for flight control and landing parameters. Circling to shed fuel is standard to meet safe landing weights. Inconvenient, yes, but safety must always come first in aviation. This followed a separate diversion involving Jetstar, a budget airline, due to a disruptive passenger. Different cause, same principle: safety and control over schedule. If you were on the Qantas flight, you got the scenic loop over Brisbane. Frequent flyer points sadly don't count for circles. And that's your report for today from the City Report with Dean Bark in Perth. Have a great day and tune in tomorrow for more news around town.